lot, doing a lot of school. It's been fun. How about you, Nick?
I was feeling good at first, but I'm starting to feel dizzy, my head's starting to hurt. I think I may need to go to the doctor.
Oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay?
Nick!
Nick? Nick?
Nick?
Nick? Nick?
Nick, are you okay?
I don't think he's okay.
I don't think he's okay. No, something's wrong.
Do you think Advil would help? He said his head was hurting.
I don't think he can take Advil right now.
I mean, he is passed out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to perform surgery on him. I remember something like this in our psychology class.
Yeah, I think I still have the notes from that chapter.
I don't know, I didn't read.
Well,
Oh god. Well, I still have the textbook.
okay.
We got this, we can figure it out.
So we're gonna perform brain surgery.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
To help further our investigation of Nick's brain, we decided to take out his brain and put it on this stand to help us further study it. When doing this, we also made these little sticky notes / stands to help put on our brain to help identify it. First, we have the cerebral cortex, and this includes all the functions and all the processing in the brain. It is all the part, it's all 4 lobes. So to represent this, we decided to put it right in the middle, just so you can know that it includes all of it. It's all the processing. Next, we have the frontal lobe, and it is right here, and it is this red piece that you guys see. Now I'm going to twist it to help you guys see the real lobe. The next piece we have is the temporal lobe, and this is the yellow lobe you see right here. This is the most lower lobe in the brain. Next, you have the parietal lobe, and it is right here, and it is this purple piece you can see right here. Next, we have the occipital lobe, and it is this green lobe that you see, and it is kind of the back piece. Right here. Next, we have the motor cortex, and this includes all of our movements and everything we do, from walking to talking to even pointing this brain out. And this is right here in the frontal lobe. A little higher just so it doesn't conflict with our cortex. And next we have the sensory cortex. And this is almost right behind it, but not, except it is in the lobe behind the frontal lobe. And it is right here. And the sensory cortex is in charge of kind of all of our senses and everything that we feel, from hearing to touching, me touching this brain right here, it's all of it. Next, it's not really a lobe, but it's this area. And this was identified by this guy named Broca. And this is because he discovered it, they call it Broca's area. And it is around right here in our brains. Or at least Nick's right here. And the Broca's area is in control of the production of speech. It is how we talk. People who have damage to this area tend to have trouble speaking, like they just don't make any much sense. Next, they have the Wernicke's area. And Wernicke's area is similar to the Broca's area, and it's assimilation with the sound and the speech. And it is around right here in Nick's brain. And this is in control of the comprehension of language. Not really the production of it, but just how you understand it and how you understand other people. And that is all we have for the outside of the brain.
So in order to really understand Nick's illness that caused him to pass out for some reason, we decided to cut into his brain and examine the inner structures of the brain. So we're going to start with the thalamus, which is responsible for all of the incoming and outcoming signals that go in and out of the brain. And it's known as the relay center for the cortex. And so that is going to go right here in this white section right here. Next is the hypothalamus, which regulates our basic biological needs such as hunger, thirst, and our temperature control. And that is right here. This little blue area right there. Next is the amygdala, which is part of the limbic system, which I will explain in a moment, and it's responsible for emotion and aggression. And this amygdala is the purple part right there. Coming next is the hippocampus, which is also part of the limbic system, and it takes care of information from short-term to long-term memory. So it's in charge of memory, and that is this pink area right here. Without it, we would not be able to transfer our short-term memories to long-term memories. And discussing the limbic system, which is composed of those two structures that I just spoke about, it's basically responsible for emotions and memory and arousal. So moving on to the cerebellum, that coordinates fine muscle movement and balance. So it's why we can stand up straight, and that is this structure right here. Coming next is the reticular formation, which are fibers that carry stimulation, such as sleep and arousal, throughout the brainstem. And that reticular formation is this red line traveling through the brainstem. So I'm just going to put that right there. Coming next is the pons. And the pons are responsible for sleep and arousal as well. And the pons are these things right here. Coming next is the pituitary gland, which is also known as the master gland. So it's really responsible for regulating other endocrine responsibilities and the other endocrine glands, and that is this blue dot right here. Coming next is the medulla, which regulates unconscious functions such as Nick's circulation, and even when Nick breathes in and out, this is what is responsible for that, the medulla. Next is the spinal cord, which transmits information from the brain to the other parts of the body, which is this long structure which runs all the way down the spine. Next is the corpus callosum, which is the bridge of fibers which passes between the two hemispheres of the brain, and that is represented through this orange structure right here. Finally, just to wrap everything up, the brainstem is this entire section right here that is composed of all of these structures. Nick?
What happened?
Oh, nothing happened. You just passed out for some reason. We think you were dehydrated.
I didn't have brain surgery?
No, silly. You're only out like 5 minutes.
Oh. You sure?
I'm pretty sure you were here the whole time.
Yeah, nothing really happened, Nick. You're okay.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go call my mom.
Yeah, you should do that. Make
Yeah.
sure you get better.